To become a mobile app developer, there are 5 essential skills. Let's go over them one by one. There are basically 2 ways to build mobile apps, native or cross-platform. With native development, we can build an app that runs only on a particular platform, like iOS or Android. This approach gives us full control over the capabilities of the target platform, resulting in great performance and the best user experience. However, the downside is that if you want to build the same app for a different platform, we have to create a separate project in an entirely different language and ecosystem. This means 2 separate projects and 2 sets of bugs to fix. That's where cross-platform or multi-platform development comes to the rescue. With cross-platform development, we can reduce development time by reusing the same code for different platforms and potentially reduce bugs. Fixing a bug once means it's fixed across multiple platforms. Now, for native development, we have a few options. For iOS, we can use Objective-C, which is an older language, or Swift, which is modern and preferred.
Android, we can use Java, which is a traditional language, or Kotlin, which is modern and preferred for cross-platform development. The option depends on the framework or toolkit we use. There are several cross-platform toolkits like React Native, Flutter, Kotlin Multiplatform, Maui, and a few others. Let's dive into each one. First off, we have React Native, which was released by Facebook in 2015. This toolkit lets you build mobile apps using JavaScript and React, which is a popular library for building web user interfaces. Some big names using React Native include Microsoft Office, Skype, and even Facebook itself. Then we have Flutter, which is a Google product that came out in 2017. Flutter uses a programming language called Dart, which takes the best parts of JavaScript, Java, and C. Some examples of apps built with Flutter are eBay, Alibaba, and Google Pay. Now let's talk about Kotlin Multiplatform. This is the newest player released by JetBrains, the same company behind tools like IntelliJ, PyCharm, and WebStorm. It uses the Kotlin programming language, which is a modern language inspired by Java. Apps like McDonald's, Netflix, and Cash App are built with Kotlin Multiplatform. Finally, we have Maui, which stands for .NET Multi-Platform App UI. Introduced by Microsoft, Maui allows you to build native mobile and desktop apps using C# and .NET. These days, most companies prefer to use multi-platform development to reduce their costs. This means we can rule out native development for now and focus on cross-platform options. Now, which framework is the best?
The reality is that neither of these frameworks is perfect. Each has its own problems and quirks that you will discover once you start building real applications beyond YouTube tutorials. Which cross-platform solution should you choose? Well, it depends on 2 things. First, on what languages and technologies you're familiar with. For example, if you're a C# developer, Maui might be the easier route. If you know web technologies like JavaScript and React, you might want to go for React Native. It's an easier transition from web to mobile development. The other factor is job opportunities. There are often more jobs available for React Native and Flutter. Here, you can see the number of open positions for different types of mobile app developers. If you have basic web development skills, React Native is a better route. Otherwise, I would recommend Flutter, because Dart, which is the programming language that Flutter uses, is a nicer language to work with
Than JavaScript. It's more modern and doesn't have the quirks and weird parts you find in JavaScript. So decide between JavaScript or Dart and commit to a study plan. I believe if you dedicate 3 to 5 hours every day, you can learn the essence of either of these languages in about 2 months.